And we are back with the fourth quarter here as Villa Grove lines up to run the first play of the fourth quarter in the pistol. 3 running backs, a handoff up the middle again to Max Daly for about a 1-yard gain. And Mark, again, they're down 20 points here with just under 12 minutes to go. 20 points, so you're looking 4 scores pretty much. You think Arcola got a good chance if they can get something going, get a couple stops, or is it kind of starting to get out of reach?
It's starting to get out of reach at this point. If you have confidence in your quarterback here, I think you can really make some moves. But going 2 for 7 isn't too impressive for Clayton Strader. Again, he's a sophomore, so he doesn't have too many opportunities before to make drives like that. So we'll just have to watch and see. It looks out of reach at this point.
Your offensive line really needs to start making some leaps and bounds in a hurry here. And there's a timeout by Villa Grove. It is 3rd and 8 on the Arcola 31.
We'll know from the first Arcola possession whether they go for a run or deep throw on the first play, and that'll pretty much decide the rest of the game right there. And we've seen 3 different running backs for Villa Grove today. That's a very interesting move. Terrion Price started out. He started to struggle. Austin Hubbard was doing really good. He still is. And then Max Daly kind of caught on fire for a little bit. He's gotten the last 2 carries. So a lot of switching up and keeping fresh players out on the field for Villa Grove. But right now they have all 3 out there, Hubbard, Daly, and Price. Hubbard looks to be kind of a fullback position. Daly out at running back and Price out at wide receiver. Price has been all over the field today. Wide receiver, fullback, running back, and he plays a lot of defense too.
And Henderson on the keeper gains a few yards, and it'll be 4th down and about 7 yards. And they will go for it here as they are in Arcola territory again. And Arcola needs to get a stop and get a turnover here. Henderson rolls out, throws high, and I don't think he's going to be close enough to the first down, so it'll be a turnover. Oh no, I'm mistaken. That was plenty for a first down. So Villa Grove, the pass through the air from Henderson to Noah Palmer, number 4, will be 1st and 10.
Even with the poor start to the second half, Henderson is still well over 50% for his completion rate, which is definitely what you want out of a high school quarterback. You can't be expecting anything spectacular, but for Henderson, a senior, especially over 50% is great, and that's a good number to be at.
And Austin Hubbard, number 32, with a great run, breaking tackles left and right, dragging a guy 5 yards down the field. And it'll be 1st and goal for Villa Grove on the 4-yard line with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And the 4-yard line, 1st and goal.
And so Villa Grove, again, their offense is rolling. And if they can eliminate the turnovers, they have a good chance to get in the end zone.
Good run there by Henderson. It looks like he got in.
And Villa Grove scores again.
You can see a big change in Jonathan Henderson's play. He went passing touchdown in the first half and then rushing touchdown. So he's had 3 touchdowns today and 2 of them being rushing.
So a good day for John Henderson as they are out.
He might be going for a 2-point here.
Looks like they're going for a 2-point, which at this point I don't know why they're going for a 2-point, but
maybe that shows a little bit of the coach's confidence in the field goal kicker. He hasn't been too good today.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, when you're up this high, it doesn't really matter at this point.
But the 2-point is good. Henderson to Hubbard. So that's a good little play there. Another confidence booster after the touchdown, especially for Hubbard, who struggled the last couple plays. And the score is now a large 34-6. So you're looking at 7 touchdowns for the Purple Riders, which is a little bit out of reach at this point with the sophomore quarterback in and sophomore running back and another senior running back in there.
So we will see what Arcola can put together here as they're getting ready for the kickoff. Villa Grove has looked great after their first drive, their first series of the game, and Arcola has kind of taken the other turn, and they have gone downhill from the opening drive where they scored their only 6 points of the game. And I mean, just a lot of things. Their offensive line, they probably haven't been together very long. They don't have a lot of experience on the O-line, and they're just not firing off the ball. They're not making and staying with contact with the man they're blocking. They're not getting the upfield after they make initial contact with their block, and it's kind of hurting them.
After that first possession, it really looked like this was Arcola's big change game where they were going to look up in the conference and overall record, but after that first possession, it all kind of went downhill. That's been their only score. That's a beautiful kickoff from Villa Grove right there. It buried Arcola deep, and a beautiful tackle from number 1 for Villa Grove. That is Toby Stipp on special teams, burying Arcola back behind the 20-yard line. That'll be a long drive now for Arcola down the field.
And Arcola deep in their own territory, trying to get to the other end to make the score look a little better, if nothing else. Maybe improve on some things, work on some things. Kind of a little practice here at the end of the fourth quarter for next week.
I wonder if now they're going to start putting some new players in, get some experience at different positions, but it looks like Seaman at wide receiver, who's only caught 1 ball today. That's still out of the 2 completions from quarterback Clayton Strader.
Brought down by number 3.
Strader with the keeper off the left side for a gain of about 8, so it'll be 2nd and 2 here. And Villa Grove has West Hancock Co-op next week at home in Arcola, which is Hamilton Warsaw, a co-op school. And they will look hopefully to improve and get another win on the season next week. And there's the handoff up the middle to number 22, Moultrie.
On the carry, number 22, Zach Moultrie.
And it'll be 3rd and short, maybe half a yard.
And Arcola really hasn't made the move to put any new players in. I'm not sure if the coach isn't comfortable with putting in some new guys, or if they really think the game's still in reach at this point. You can't tell.
Or maybe he could just be trying to build some confidence in his starters, momentum for next week. Villa Grove next week has Cerro Gordo, DeLand, Weldon, and Bement. They are a 4-school co-op. They are here next week, and that will be an exciting game. 2 of the top teams in the Little Ocala Valley Conference next week here playing each other. And we've got an injured Blue Devil on the field. I believe that's Noah Palmer, and you don't want to see that. Your top receiver for the night going down with what looks like a leg injury. And you hate to see that on a good night like tonight for homecoming when you're ousting your opponent here on your home field, 34-6. So we have an injury timeout. Hopefully it's just some cramping, nothing major, and he'll be all right for next week, because they're going to need everybody they can to play Cerro Gordo.
You can see a big difference in the strategy from coaches of Villa Grove, Chad Musselman, and Arcola, Zach Zur. Just in the defense, there's been a 3-4 and a 4-3 shown today. There's been cover 3 by Villa Grove, and the defenses are switching it up a lot. In passing, there's been 13 more attempts by Villa Grove than Arcola, which is a big number. And a lot more running on the Arcola side. And it looks like Noah Palmer was the injured player. He's walking off the field with a limp. It looks like he should be fine, but you really hope to never see a player like this get injured. He looks to be in a good amount of pain there.
Yeah, he's limping pretty hard on that one leg. I think maybe he will be done for the rest of this game, and he'll work on healing up for next week. As Arcola with the 1st and 10, they got a first down on that run up the middle by Strader.
It's a pitch out to number 32, Wyatt Fischel. And it looks like he will just keep running.
And
32 takes a nice hack at the ball and brings him down. Number 32 from Villa Grove, Austin Hubbard with the wheels on defense, bringing down Wyatt Fischel, a number 32 from Arcola, and he is limping off the field.
It looks like he's suffering from cramps. Looks like his leg is cramping. And a great run by Wyatt Fischel. I mean, untouched until he got down to about the 10-yard line. Good blocking out there by the wide receiver and the pulling lineman to open up that hole.
64-yard run.
So a great run by Wyatt Fischel for Arcola, 64 yards. And they are knocking on the door here to try and score and put some more points up on this board against Villa Grove.
Again, there's only 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter here, and that'll be a gain for the Arcola side, but I don't think that's quite in the end zone.
Steve Franco, number 27 for Arcola.
Gavin Arnold
gains a few yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Ball's on the 4-yard line.
And in the pistol again, 2 wideouts to either side. And a handoff up the middle again. And he's still not in, so it'll be 3rd and short to get into the end zone for Arcola, Steve Franco.
Stephen Franco.
So it'll be 3rd and about a yard.
51, Kyle McColgan.
So it is there, right there.
Ball's on the 1-yard line, 3rd down.
It would be nice to see Arcola get this in and make the score a little closer with about just under 7 minutes to go here in this ball game.
It'd be really nice for this offense to get a nice little boost before next week's matchup. See if they can punch it in.
And they do get in. Number 27, Steve Franco, on a 3rd and 1. Gets into the end zone. The score is now 34-12 in favor of Villa Grove. And Arcola lines up for the extra point.
No pass attempts on that drive by Arcola, but a beautiful run by Wyatt Fisher, and that looks like the extra point is good from kicker number 10, Juan Franco.
And it is 34 to... Well, the scoreboard says 19. I thought it was only 13. I believe the score is 34-13. But under 7 minutes to go, 6:43 here in the 4th quarter. Arcola gets another score. And they will kick off to Villa Grove, who will work on their offense. It looks like they're putting in a few new guys on their return team here. Deep back now, they have number 27 and number 32, which are Austin Hubbard and Dalton James. Actually, I think Hubbard's been back there the whole game. I think Dalton James is new into the game.
Hubbard has really been on fire today. Hubbard's really been the power on offense in the second half, whereas John Henderson was in the first half.
And a low squib on the ground, picked up by Dalton.
It was a good kickoff by Arcola, rolled away.
Tries to get to the outside, and they bring him down around the 25-yard line, it looks like.
27, Dalton James.
And so Villa Grove again will take over with the lead here on homecoming night.
We'll see if they try to run the clock down, or maybe they go for another score since it's their homecoming night, try to get some more players involved in the end zone. But it'll be interesting to see what they do here. We'll definitely see these late game situations vary from coach to coach around the Douglas County area, what they decide to do and stuff like this.
And it looks like they still have the starters out there.
Looks like Dalton James is getting in the game though. I don't see Austin Hubbard out there, but Max Daly's in the backfield. Terrion Price is in motion.
Yeah. It's going to be a delay of game. They took way too long to get that play off. They had 2 guys come in late onto the field, and so that will back them up 5 yards.
Delay of game is penalty. Still first down.
And 1st and 15 now instead of 1st and 10. Man in motion, they hand off. Dalton around to the outside, and there's a flag in the backfield as Arcola stands him up on the far sideline for a gain of what looks to be 7, but they call holding on Villa Grove, so that'll back them up even farther. And if you're Villa Grove, Mark, what do you take from this game into your next week game against Cerro Gordo? I mean, tough opponent coming. I mean, they're coming here, so you get the home field advantage. But what things do you work on? What things do you bring to a tough team like Cerro Gordo?
I think you definitely have to continue the work with John Henderson, just getting him even more confident for the next week's matchup, building on his passing from the first half, the rushing from the second half. Austin Hubbard, I think, should definitely be a starter next week. He's done really well this week, so I think working on him and the starting sets. Terrion Price, definitely at fullback, is a good thing to work on this week.
Number 65.
So all those things combined, I think, will make this offense a lot stronger next week. And their defense has looked very good today. So.
And Henderson was dropping back to pass on that one. Didn't see anybody. He tried to tuck and run, and he was tackled for a gain of 2, I think. And he's back to pass again. Throws to the outside. He's going to be incomplete. A little pressure on him in the backfield. Getting close to being in the end zone when he rolls out. Don't want to give up a safety.
They are backed up near their own end zone.
And Arcola would love to come up with another stop here and put a few more points on the board. And Villa Grove with 3rd and 25. And a high snap. He's got people, and that's got to be, yeah, there it is. I was going to say that had to be intentional grounding. There was nobody in the area. He was just throwing it to, and if he was avoiding the safety, I think that maybe, they may call that a safety. Because if he was in the end zone when he intentionally grounded the ball.
That is a safety.
They'll call that a safety.
He just kind of threw it down and away between the Arcola defenders.
Yep.
We'll see if he was in the end zone when he did that or not. It could result in a safety. Nope.
Nope, they called a penalty, and they are back to punt.
He'll be punting out of his own end zone, which is definitely difficult for anybody.
It's a tough place to punt from. You usually have a punt block coming at you.
And it looks like Arcola didn't rush much on that punt.
Ooh.
And the punter punted out of bounds right near the cheerleaders.
And I think a cheerleader got a piece of that ball.
Yes, I believe she did.
And Arcola will take over with excellent field position and 5.5 to go to try and get another score on the board.
That punt there put some excitement into the crowd, but it was a very high and left punt, so not too great. But when you're in your own end zone, you're just trying to get it off as soon as possible. But it looked like Arcola played it back for a return, not so much trying to block the punt, which I think would have been a good move when you're down by this much.
And I think Villa Grove's put some new guys in on defense, and Zach Moutre for Arcola, number 22, the big gain and a first down.
They could not bring him down. It was fair tackling by the Villa Grove defense. There was about 5 guys on him, but it was just hard for them to bring him all the way down.
And another excellent run. Arcola has definitely picked up the run game here in the last few minutes. Too little, too late, but some good effort points, good things to take into next week.
See if Wyatt Fischel can break free again. He's doubling back, and he's been hit by 2 defenders and now buried into the ground by what looked like a linebacker from Villa Grove. That was a bad double back. I think he should have just taken the loss in hindsight, but still just an experience thing from a sophomore there for Wyatt Fischel.
Trying to do a little too much there and got, like you said, he got buried by a multitude of Villa Grove defenders on that play.
When you're down by this much, you look for any hope of a big run or a touchdown. So
it'll be 2nd and 20 on the 31 here for Villa Grove, or excuse me, for Arcola. And they have a tight formation in the backfield, still in the pistol. 2 wide
and they
outs.
are running a tight end this time, number 40, and he's wide open across the middle of the field. Lots of Villa Grove defenders in the backfield, but could not get to Strader, so looks like he'll break about even on that play.
And Clayton Strader on the carry, and I gotta give props to Clayton Strader. He's been beat up all night, and he's still running out there, lowering his shoulder, trying to get as many yards as he can get, despite the beating that he's taken. So it'll be 3rd and 10 here, with under 4 minutes to go.
Justin Hobgood was out there. One of their 4 listed tight ends was out on the right side. He was wide open across the middle of the field, but was not hit by Strader, as there was a lot of pressure in that backfield. They have a lot of weapons on the outside, Hobgood being one of them, and Colin Seaman, but he hasn't been able to hit his targets today with so much pressure. They're now putting 2 running backs back there to block, and he's still getting pressured. Good throw by Clayton Strader there, but that's out of bounds and no good. That puts him at 2 for 6 on the day.
Good throw, good catch. He was just out of bounds when he caught it. So 4th and 10 here. Arcola will go for it.
That puts Clayton Strader at 2 for 6, and John Henderson is 11 for 18 today.
So Henderson definitely will take home the QB battle here between himself and Clayton Strader.
Certainly will.
As Clayton Strader's in the pistol here.
Big part of that is the offensive line for the Arcola Purple Riders, though. I think that needs a lot of improvement this coming week in practice.
No.
A lot of pressure by the Blue Devils and an interception by number 32. That should be Austin Hubbard. That's now an interception on top of the only 2 for 6 for Clayton Strader. That's again with the sophomore quarterback there, not too much experience in the starting position, so that'll improve as he goes along.
Excellent defense by Villa Grove, had everybody covered. Strader was under pressure, he had nowhere to go with it, so he just kind of tossed it up there, hoping that his wide receiver can make a play and come up with it. And there was a flag. So I think they called that a chop block.
Personal foul against Villa Grove to call.
Oh, that interception should be called back, it looks like. Or maybe they'll just get it at the spot of the interception.
I think they should be from the spot of the foul, I think. If there's a chop block, they have to have possession of the ball in order to have the chop block. So Villa Grove should take over on the turnover.
That's a good note for the Villa Grove Blue Devils to take away on their defense, an interception there. So there's been 3 fumbles and an interception today. So a lot of turnovers going on.
And with 3 minutes to go, it's still 34 to 13 in favor of Villa Grove. As Villa Grove gets prepared to go 1st and 10 here. Their stars are still in the game. And Henderson rolls to his right, takes off upfield, and
He gets smashed to the ground by number 65 from the Purple Riders. That is Patrick Henry.
Gets taken down pretty hard. I don't know if I'd have my starters still in, especially as many snaps as Henderson takes with less than 3 minutes to go in the ball game. You have a 34-13 lead. You don't want to risk injury on anybody. Pass to the outside. He slips down. And incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
So another incomplete for Henderson. So it'll be, should be 3rd and 3. Penalty on Villa Grove. And I'm still confused on why they're, I'm confused totally. I don't know why they're passing the ball. Why not just run the ball or run the clock out? Take the win.
I think with Henderson's struggle early in the second half, maybe they want to boost his confidence back up with the passing performance in the late second half, but I see eye to eye with you, Luke, on that. I don't see why they just run the ball up the middle and waste down that clock. But it is pretty much out of reach for the Purple Riders at this point. They're down by 21, and Henderson takes another big hit. I really don't see why they don't have their backup quarterback in at this point.
And that will start the clock moving again at least, and it will be 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Stephen Franco, number 27 for Arcola, on the tackle. And Henderson is in the pistol. Takes the snap, keeps it himself again. And he's tackled close to the first down marker. They're going to call it a first down. So after the chains move, the clock will start again. They'll run some more time off this clock.
Number 5, Tyler Price, on here as a junior. He's listed as a quarterback. You wonder if they get him some experience for when John Henderson's graduated and gone. He'll most likely take over the starting position. They also have Cole Moore, number 90. He's a freshman, listed as a quarterback. So you wonder if he might get some practice snaps sometime this year just to prepare him for his upperclassmen years, but he might take over the starting job.
Max Daly with a 10-yard run, 9-yard run. Nope, they call it a 10-yard run. And it'll be another first down for Villa Grove. As Villa Grove looks like they're taking their starters out one by one here. With almost a minute left to go in the game, 34-13. And Villa Grove now getting ready to run the play. 1st and 10. Snap. Henderson keeps it himself again. And he gets to the sideline.
Beautiful run by Henderson. He wasn't hit too hard on that one. It was 23, Tony Salinas. He's a speedster from Arcola that dragged him out of bounds. I've played basketball and been in track events against him, so he's a pretty good athlete. Getting some time as a freshman in there.
And an excellent run. Unfortunately, they pushed him out of bounds, so the clock will stop. And they still have their starters in. Again, in my opinion, it's just too much of a risk to keep those guys in, especially when they do all the core work during the game.
Big stars on that offense.
And now we're under a minute here.
On the tackle, 58, Jesse Gonzalez. Second down.
You have to wonder about what the quarterback position is going to look like next year. They have a good senior quarterback in there right now, but when it comes to next year, you wonder if it's going to be Tyler Price taking over, who's a junior now. We haven't seen him in today. He may be possibly injured. Or even a sophomore next year would be Cole Moore. So we'll just have to see what happens with that.
And Henderson takes a knee. That'll run out the clock here. Mark, any final thoughts on this game?
I think there's a lot of good things to take away for the Purple Riders. You had a 3-touchdown, over 50% completion from your quarterback. A lot of good running play from Austin Hubbard. And then for the Arcola Purple Riders, I think a lot of work on your offensive line this week. and your passing defense, and both teams will be ready to go next week.
And there you have it from Villa Grove. Homecoming night, the Blue Devils get a win, 34-13 over the visiting Arcola Purple Riders. Thank you for tuning in to DouglasCountyDigest.com.
October 11th.